Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about HTML registration page creation. So we'll use plain HTML tags, whatever we have learned till now, and we'll try to create a registration page for us. So how to create a registration page and what are the different tags we will be using over here, we'll see in this video. Let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. Now what I'll do is I'll just create a particular form first, and we will add some set of stylings if we require, but not complete CSS but only the inline styles. So what I'll do is, first thing, I'll create a field set. Already we have discussed about field set and legend in my previous videos. Please watch that for better understanding. Whole this page will be created with different elements. That elements are already designed and defined in my previous videos. So please try to watch that so that you will understand clearly about this particular elements. So now I'm using a field set along with legend, and I'm trying to use something called as registration. And now what I want to do is I want to add some set of input fields. So what I'll do is I'll create a div for each and every input field with a label. So let me create a label called as first name, and let me give a for attribute, and this attribute will have first name. So now let me create an input field now. So input field with a placeholder where it is first name as a placeholder and the ID which is equivalent to the first name, that is this first name. Let me copy this and put it over here, and what I'll do is I'll make it as required, and let me save this. Now I have created first name. Let me create such type of fields more. So now what I'll do is I'll create a second name, and this is of second name, and this is of second name. So I'm just creating that second name, and this second name will be equivalent to our ID, and I can give a type explicitly as text if you want, or else by default it is text itself. So let me save this. Now for attribute I'm making it as email, and this is something like email, and now let me make that placeholder as email, ID email, and required. Along with that I want to give a type called as email. Now I have created an email. Next one is I want to create some set of phone number. So let me give a phone number, and that is of type, let me go with text, and let me give a phone as an ID. Copy this phone, put it over here, and this is something like phone number, and save this. Now I have created a phone number. Later let me create some other things like gender, or you can give a drop down which will have a gender selection. So let me give a div, and here the thing is I want to create select. So let me go with the select, and inside this select let me give an option, and the option indicates a male option which is having a value as male, and let me copy this option, put it over here and put it over here. Let me make it as female, and let me make it as others, and let me go with female and go with others. So now we have a drop down with all these values, and we will be creating a name for us. So let me go with name as first name, and here name as second name, and name as email, and here name as phone number, that is equivalent to phone. And now I can give a name here as gender, so he can select any of this gender and that value will be populated over there. And now what I'll do is I'll just go here and add some set of div which will have a label or an input with a checkbox, type as checkbox, and let me create an ID for this. ID is equal to, I can go with agree terms and conditions, so that way, and let me add a label for this. So the label is I agree for terms and conditions, and let me add a for attribute, and this for attribute is equivalent to this agree. So now I have created a checkbox with the agree statement, and let me do one more div where I can select some set of data list. So let me go with a creation of an input field, and this input field with a placeholder, and the placeholder is something like interesting topics. I can select interesting topics, and I can go with a list where the list is some topics, and then I can select these topics from data list. So let me use a data list where ID is equal to topics, And now it is also having an options like Angular, and let me copy this option, put it over here. Let me go with React and copy this, put it over here. Let me go with Vue.js, something like this. So now he can select a topics from this list, and that can be applicable for our submission, form submission. Let me use a label again, and here what I'll do is I'll use something like for attribute, and for is something like topics, and let me add a name with topics as a name, and let me use an ID where the ID is topics input. So let me copy this topic input, put it over here, and the label is interesting topics. So now it's done with the data list, and later what I'll do is I'll add a create password. So input with type as password and name as password and placeholder as password and ID as password. I'm just giving all as password, and I'm creating a label for this, and the label is something like for attribute with the password and label as password. So I can give something like this and save this. Now let me give a colon here, save this, and we'll put this agree statement in the last. Now we have created all the required fields, and let me go with a div where I want to add a button. That is nothing but you can add a button with type as reset, that is equivalent to clear the form, and I want to have a button with the type as submit, and this can be registered. So let me save this. Now we have reset and we have submit. Once the user submits, then it will call my action. So where is my action? We have to put a form tag. Let me keep a form tag, and let me close this form tag after this field set. So let me format this and put an action where the action should trigger our index2.html, that is a success page, and I'll use a method as post. Save this. Now what happened, we have created all these form structures and we have used a field set with a legend. Let me go here and just reload. So now we got a form. It's a very big form, and here if you see there is some zigzag content, and we have a select but we don't have a label. Let me go and put that label over there. So here in the select we can put a label, and the label has a for attribute where the for attribute refers to gender, and the label is gender, and let me add an ID which is equal to gender. Now save this, go here and reload. Now everything looks like zigzag, there is no proper format, but we got all the options over here. So now what I want to do is I want to format this, and I don't want to keep this much big UI or big container. So what I'll do is I'll make it format by using table. So what I'll do is inside this legend, what I'll do, I'll create a table, and inside this table I'll try to create a tr tag where the tr tag first contains a td, and that td is equivalent to my label. So cut this and put it over here, and I can take one more td, and here what I can do is I can put my input field, cut this and put it over here and format this. So now we are done with the first div, and let me create one more tr. Let me copy this tr, put it over here, just cut this label, put it over here, and cut this input, put it over here, and just remove this div. Like that we will do all the TRs, or we will create all the TRs. So let me go here, email, and then input with email. So let me remove the spaces and then go with one more div, that is nothing but this TR. Copy this TR, put it over here, and just go with the phone number. Here is the phone number, and then let me go with an input field. Let me put here, and now let me copy that another TR, put it here, and first one is a label. Let me copy this or cut this and put it over here. Next one is select. Let me cut this and put it over here. So now we are done with the TR as well. So let me remove all the unwanted divs. Now let me create one more TR. So I'm just trying to create all the TRs which are required for us. So let me have a label, and the label is here, and let me go with an input and data list inside this particular select. So let me format again and remove this div. Let me copy this TR again and put it over here. So now this is my password, cut this put it over here, input, cut it and put it over here with the password. Now let me go with one more thing like tr, and let me put this. Now I want to put this input and label together, so we have to put this together. First thing is we will put like this in one of the td. So let me put here, we will remove this for now and format, so we don't have td, the combination should be coming into picture, we'll see that. So let me go here and you have one more div, so let me create one more tr, and inside this we want one button on the first td and one more button in the next td. So let me remove this div and just format everything. So save this. Now go here and reload. Now you got a sequencing part, and I agree went here, clear button went here. We will be putting this together, but what I want to do is I don't want to have complete width. Instead what I'll do is I'll make it as 50% of table width. That means your field set should have a style property where that style property should have a width of 50%. Save this and go here and reload. Now it came to 50%, and the next target is to make this I agree into middle. That means it should come for the two columns. So whenever you want to put it as a two columns, that means we want to make two columns into one. That means you have to merge the two columns. So whenever we want to merge the two columns, what we can do is we can use something like call span as 2 and save this, go here and reload. Now you can see both has been combined, two columns combined together to form one column, and this clear button should come to the right side. So the first td should be empty, so second td should be filled with clear and register. Let me reload. Now you got a proper formatted content with first name, second name, email, phone number, gender, interesting topics, password and I agree. There are two buttons, clear and register. Once we enter all the fields, then it has to go into the next screen. Now we have this gender, but that is not completely filled. For that sake, what we can do is we can give 100% width for each and every input field, so that it will cover all the white space which we have. So now what we will do is we'll try to test this. Before testing, let me show you this is required and this is required. Email should also be required. So let me put that as required, and already it's available here in the required, and phone number is required. So let me put that select also required, and let's have input with interested topics also required. Password, it should be required, and I agree, it should be required. So let me save this, go here and reload. Now what I'll do is I'll just go and submit this. Then it is asking to fill the first name. Let me fill Sai Kumar. And if you see here, there is an autocomplete which is coming in picture. So I will off the autocomplete for whole form by using a property called as autocomplete with off. And I want to target the first should be auto-focused. Whenever I reload the page, the autofocus should happen on the first element. Let me reload, and if my cursor is here, let me reload this, then it went to first name. So let me enter Sai Kumar, and then let me give a second name where the second name is Kurtiwada, and then let me give an email. Before giving an email, let me click this. It is asking to fill this. So let me give a wrong email. It is throwing an error to write email sai@gmail.com, and let me go with the phone number. And before going that, let me submit. It is asking me to fill 90 90 90 90 90, and I'm selecting by default it is a mail, and if you want to change, we can change it. And interesting topic, I want to put Angular, or you can put React as well. Let me go with password 123456789, and I'm clicking on I agree. If I don't click on I agree and click on register, it is asking to check this box. Let me click this, and now let me click on register. So it went to another page where it is showing register successful. Let me go back, and all the form has been cleared. If I enter something over here with an email and number or like this, if I fill all the values and try to click on clear, then automatically all the form details will be resetted, because this clear has a type as a reset. So whenever the type of a button is reset, then whole form will be resetted. So that is about your registration page. the creation of registration page. This will give you a glance how we have developed our table and what is the purpose of a table, what is the purpose of a form, what is the purpose of input elements. All this has been covered with this single example. Hope this will give you a glance and clear understanding of usage of your tables as well as forms. Hope this will help you a lot. That's it for this video. If you like my explanation, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.